Welcome. I'm going live for a impromptu conversation and reflection. So if you do hop on, please write a comment, say hi, and I would love to connect with you. To introduce myself, who am I? Hi, my name is Chris Kaufman. I'm an associate marriage family therapist with Harbor Counseling Services in West Sacramento. That's where our office is, and online. So I am honored to be here today and speaking something that I'm very passionate about, something that is really alive for a lot of people, and that is considering our relationship to risk. So as you may know, this is a time of being more conscious, and one of those conscious things that are coming up for some of us is our awareness that there are risks going out and being out in the world. And how are we navigating these times of going from stay in place to making choices to be more out in the world? So that is our topic today, which is considering risk. Now, what is your relationship to risk? When you notice that, when you're like, when somebody asks you to do something that feels a little risky, where do you feel that in your body? For me, when I feel risk in my body, it feels like a bit of a contraction. There's a bit of a preparing of fight or flight. And I notice that I'm readying to take action, to do something, to move in some way, even if that's towards or away. So today, we're just going to explore that a little bit. What is risk, and how do we feel in our bodies when considering what risk is? What is your relationship to risk? I would love to hear from you. Please put some comments in the chat bar. I see someone's joined us. Welcome. So our own personal relationship to risk, and especially during these times of COVID-19, like we all have different risk factors in our lives. Some of us have elderly in our personal bubble. Some of us are solo and single and don't have other people to consider in our personal sphere, but we have others to consider in a social sphere. So that's the first thing. What personal attributes do you need to consider in your level of risk? Another few might be, what are your age? What is your age? How is your health? Those are risk factors for this time. Also, what is the prevalence of the virus in your area? There is such a wide variety of cases and populations right now. So what is the prevalence of the virus in your area? In the rural areas, we're seeing that it's not as prevalent as in the more densely packed urban areas. So that, again, that's a consideration, right? Like, how much space in our social networks is there? Another thing to consider is, what precautions are you taking? Are you somebody who is resting in place except for just essentials? Are you someone who is going out and engaging socially with other people? Are you inviting other people into your home, into your space? These are all risk factors, right? So in contemplating our relationship to risk, these are the things that we're considering. In some other alternative relationship structures, we have something called risk-aware consensual acts. So we consider the risk, we consider what awareness that we bring to that, we consider if it is consensual, and then we consider the acts that we are putting forth and negotiating for. So what I'm seeing is this is a time of negotiation and being able to first negotiate with ourselves and figuring out what level of risk is acceptable to us. Now, here's the second part, right? So not only are there risks, But then we have an acceptable level of risk to us. And this is widely individualistic. Like, it depends on what our own history and environment has been throughout our lives. We are shaped throughout our lives, and in this time, we are seeing what our personal relationship to risk is. So some people may feel more secure in their ability to navigate risk and have that resilience and that feeling of ease. Some people have a higher level of trauma in their system, in their nervous system, and that is all part of our own personal landscape. So there's no right or wrong. It's just, it depends on what our own shaping has brought us to this moment and how we are meeting this moment. So for me, I notice I'm a little bit more cautious. I like to take things slowly. I want to make sure that I have information. So I've been gathering information to be able to make risk-aware choices. And I went out today. I got a little bit of sun. There's some flowing water near me, and I'm very grateful that I was able to be out in nature, which is restorative and resilient. But I also noticed when I couldn't practice spacing with other people who were also in nature, I noticed my own risk adverse reaction, and I left because that was not a level of risk that I was comfortable with. So I assessed the situation, and I chose to go to a different place where I could have more spaciousness. What are you noticing? What do you notice as a way that you are navigating risk during this time? I have a little bit of color from the sun I'm noticing. So there's definitely more pink, and it's a little warmer. So even my own body is responding to this time, as I can imagine all of our bodies are. So that's something to consider, right? What's our own personal relationship to risk? I know other people who were shocked when I told them I hadn't really been out of the house, out of this area in 3 months. So they have a different level of risk and in their life, different considerations. So the third thing I wanted to talk about in this quick offering today is about shaming, and shaming as a social construct. So let's this is a big topic, so let's take a moment. Take a deep breath whenever you're watching this. So noticing shame. Is it going to be helpful if I tell somebody who I'm noticing not following the guidelines that are put out, and if I shame them, do you think that'll be helpful? I've found in my experience that shaming somebody contracts them and brings up defenses. I don't find it to be a particularly helpful strategy to engage with somebody. I have considered a number of times, like, what is my relationship to other people who are navigating risk at a different level than I am? I could, for example, if they were close to me and I had some investment in their health and their well-being, I could share, I'm really concerned about some of the choices that you've made to go out into the world and perhaps not wear a covering or a mask. That's something that I'm concerned about. Welcome. Hi. Please let me know you're here. Write a comment. Let me know. See if I can answer any questions when I'm done with this. Right now I'm talking about our relationship to shaming others to get them to lower their risk, which I find is not particularly. Hey, Renee, welcome. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Thank you for being here. So shaming isn't a particularly useful strategy. What are some other strategies that we can do to talk to people who might have a different level of risk awareness and risk assessment in their own lives? Maybe being curious, right? Maybe asking them, hey, I noticed that you're going out more. How's that for you? What are you noticing for yourself? curiosity is also something that will help people engage rather than shut down and block and be defended, right? Like, what are some strategies that have worked? Because this is a time when we all have different levels of risk and awareness. What can we do? For me, I notice something that's been really helpful is not trying to control the situation and others, but just noticing what arises in my life. Like, I'll notice like a activation when I see somebody that I'm like, oh, I wish you were taking better care of your body and better care of our community. Like, for me, that's one of the things that I notice. What are you noticing? So today I just wanted to talk and touch on a little bit about risk and risk assessment during these COVID times. For me, something that has been really helpful is the harm reduction principles that I've been learning over the past few years. So I'm very grateful for those. And to take that assessment and really feel into it and really feel the best way to proceed, both with myself and my own awareness, and also for the community. Like, we are a member of an ecosystem, and that is one of the reasons that we have been asked to limit our range and limit our choices, is because there are ripples out into the bigger ecosystem. So again, assessing risk, assessing, how can we navigate this time of opening back up and making new choices? Because hard stop is one big choice, but how can we make smaller choices that are going to lead to a health and wellness for everyone as we move towards opening back up? So thank you for being here. I am really grateful. And for those of you who need more support, please reach out. I'm available now for online video sessions. So please send an email to info@westsactherapy. I believe that's right. Yes, info@westsactherapy.com. And we can start your onboarding process. For more free informational videos, please check out my YouTube channel. It's Chris Kaufman, and my Embodied Vitality video blog. This is where those are all home space. I will be doing more regular offerings for more free content. So check out my video blog and my YouTube channel. And I hope you have a beautiful night. There is no right or wrong answer for this. This is the inquiry that I'm noticing now. So just taking that time and being mindful with our choices. Thank you, and be good. No, don't be good. Have a beautiful evening. All right. Take good care. Bye-bye.